Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are checking out Kotoka Torahime, covering It Was a Very Nice June. Now, I'm pretty excited about this one. It's been a while since we checked out Kotoka's voice. Last time I believe was the G4L or the Gal cover, which was pretty fun. So I'm excited to see what she's brought to the table this time. I believe the only other time we've heard her really sing was the group song she did with the rest of her gen mates. So this is still a pretty new introduction to her voice and a good way to learn what the talent sounds like when they're singing and the kind of songs they like covering. So let's just jump on in 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh. We're already jumping in with this nice dual instrumentation here. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so we've got about a little over half a minute of instrumentation. And I'd say that was well done. I really like how that was done composition-wise. Now let's go to the introduction of the vocals here. So we've definitely got quite a bit of digital effect here. I mean, we're really pushing the treble tonality of the vocals here. Ooh. Nice. Okay, so I will say, I feel like maybe the digital effect is pushed a little too strong here. I don't think her vocals need to be this cut out in terms of bass tonality, because we're getting good support from that drum and guitar, but the guitar is still pretty up high, and the drums aren't especially bassy. So I think it would be an okay decision to let more bass into the vocal. That said, it definitely does create a very unique aesthetic when you take away that bass from the vocal. And the way we got that lift in pitch, and then immediately followed by that vocal fry, that rasp added in as she said frail and weak. And when we got that, she let her voice die out, which was just, it's always nice to hear that attention to the mix, and not really the mix, but the attention to what the song's message is and matching that in the vocal track. Because a lot of times people will just like sing the lyrics, but they won't think too much about what it's conveying. They'll just kind of get a general emotion and they'll go with that. Okay. So we're really blending the lyrics now. That first segment was pretty well enunciated, but now we're really blending these lyrics together. I mean, like that second line on the segment we just exited from, that was I would not have been able to decipher the lyrics there if the captions weren't there. Which, for some people, that's a big negative. And to some people, that's like, they're indifferent. Some people really like it. I'd say I personally like it more when lyrics are well enunciated and the message is like still prioritized even with the song's aesthetic and everything. That said, I think there's definitely a choice there that is based on preference. And I don't think that she blended those lyrics together unintentionally. I think she was very aware of how she's singing that. So it's interesting to see how we're starting to blend the lyrics together as we're talking about this maze and these more negative tones. Or sorry, not tones, themes. Alright. Alright, bringing back the intensity in the instrumentation now. Nice, and we also got another vocal track backing her up here. Okay. That was a good flare. Ooh. Okay. Nice. Alright. And now we've got just sort of an instrumentations really not insert, maybe more like a vocal pullout, letting the instrumentation take spotlight, bring an interjection there, but we've also got this very unique aesthetic so far. So we're really not pushing beyond the scope of really guitar and drums, you know. It's really just centered around those two instruments. Even if we get interjections, you know, the guitar and the drums are really carrying the instrumentation here. Then we've got these vocals that are so uniquely mixed, you know. We're pulling away from a lot of the support you'd get in a song generally, you know. We don't really have a very strong like bass guitar to insert those bass tones in, and we're taking bass tones out of the vocal track, so we're left with this it feels like almost emptiness. And I think that's very intentional. I think that emptiness is very intentional with the aesthetic of the song. So let's go on a bit. Alright. Pulling away from the intensity now. That drum track is really nice though. Okay. Okay. So we're about like halfway into the song. We're bringing in more bass tones now. We're bringing in that kick drum, and it's adding quite a different aesthetic now. You know, you're gonna feel the emptiness that we had before is starting to really fill up with the introduction of that bass drum there. That was a nice impact. That was a nice. You could hear. I think that was a cymbal. I don't think that was a hi-hat. I think that was a really quick tap to the cymbal and grab. So we just got a little bit of this like snap from the cymbal right there. That was really nice. And we also had a couple of digital impacts there as well for both a rise and a fall, which was quite interesting. You know, it's always fun to see how a synth is used with a very acoustic sounding guitar and drums, you know. As I said before, the percussion track here is very, very lively. And earlier, I know I'm kind of rambling a bit, but as we were introducing the rapid bass drum, the rapid kick drum, we were getting pretty good enunciation again from the lyrics, or from the vocals. So it's very interesting to see where we choose to be more well enunciated and where we choose to start blending our words together and get more of this legato aesthetic with the vocal track. Oh. Okay. Alright. We got the backing vocal again. Okay. Ooh, big cutout. Ooh, okay, we continued the cutout, but then we transitioned that cutout into a different segment now. Ooh, okay. I want to go back there. That was really nice. I actually really like that. Let's go back to that cutout. That's really nice. That's a really nice transition there. Also, I did not mean to do that, but I want to comment on that guitar there. That is panning. That is panning left to right. So we do have dynamic panning on that guitar, which kind of emphasizes the almost like sort of lift we've got now. And I say lift, but that drum still keeps us grounded. It's really just a sort of pull away from the intensity, and then we're slowly diving back into it. I do like the choice to pan the guitar here, though. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Alright, so I like how we used the breathiness there, and then we introduced the backing vocal. That was really nice. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Okay, so we got quite a big lift there towards the treble tonality, and we got going into that head voice really with the backing vocal as well, also in head voice. That was quite interesting. And then we've also got these couple of moments where we use this nasally chest voice to kind of dip down low a bit, change our demeanor a little bit, adding that variation. And so, you know, we're getting more and more little twists, little changes to the main pattern of the song we've got, and that adds a lot of fun to the experience of listening to it. You know, it adds that variation, it adds those little twists and turns that make it fun to keep going. And so I think that's a very, very nice attention to the mix. I don't know if that's in the original, but it was definitely well executed by Kotoka here. All right. Okay. And then we've got a bit of static. I'm gonna actually go back a little bit here. I just want to hear if that was a we got this sustaining treble tone, and I want to check if that was a vocal or if that was just like a synth. That's a synth. I think that's a synth. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was a synth track. Still, I really, really like what we've got there. That was a nice showing from Kotoka there. I do think that, you know, there are definitely songs out there that would be better in terms of showing off a talent's voice, but this was a nice ride. I really like this cover here. You know, we got to hear how Kotoka really changes up the aesthetic of the song through, I feel, unconventional means. Because, you know, not only did we obviously get, you know, the mix work, pulling out the treble tones from her vocal track, but we also got some cool enunciation switch ups. And I do hope those were intentional, because if they were not intentional, that may be a bit of a negative. But I think those were intentional. I do wish that they were maybe a little more emphasized, so that way you could kind of tell if it was an intentional switch up or not. But nonetheless, you know, those changes from basically how well enunciated the vocals were, the way I interpreted that was as this message of, you know, being sort of clouded in the mind versus those few moments of like clarity where you like know what you think, you know how you feel, and then you're sort of a little confused, a little cloudy. That's sort of how I interpreted the switches as. If that was not intentional, then maybe that could use some work, just some focus towards the enunciation of the recorded vocals. Aside from that, that was still a really fun cover. I really do like the instrumentation for this song. I think there was not a whole lot of tracks in this instrumentation. You know, we really only had but probably less than 5 instrumentation tracks at a time. You know, it was really just the drums and the guitar tracks, and then we'd get these every now and then we'd get these digital transitions, and we'd also get like a synth sustain. But aside from that, you know, I didn't notice too much other extraneous tracks. I do believe we had a bit of a bass at one point, though I'm not too sure. But still, overall, for as a complete verdict, I think this was a really solid cover. I think this was really solid. I'd love to hear more from Kotoka. You know, I think she definitely could be a very, very, very strong artist under Nijisanji EN. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, feel free to recommend more in the comments below. Aside from that, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.